if you're coaching sports and you don't know who John Thompson is, you definitely should, especially basketball. You definitely shouldn't be coaching.
On today's Wind Up Wednesday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis discuss honoring coaches' legacies, review players who were snubbed on the NBA's 75th anniversary players, as well as other stories in the world of basketball. Welcome to today's show. Dr. Keith Adams is the president of the CKA Save Project, a nonprofit organization designed to assist student athletes and the people who work with them through educational and professional development. He is a career academic and athletic leader with close to 30 years of experience on the high school and college levels. He has won numerous championships and epitomizes professionalism. Coach Mike Franchise Francis is one of the most successful football and basketball coaches in the state of Maryland. He too is a career academic and athletic leader with close to 30 years of experience on the high school and college level and is self-admittedly a little rough around the edges. Both men have mentored countless student athletes, teachers, and coaches using their unique methods and approaches to leadership. Both men also share a unique and special friendship that was cultivated often through their unique perspective of life and leadership. Dr. Adams through his extensive educational background and Coach Francis through his life experiences. Can these two men share a podcast without driving each other crazy? Welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, the Colt Boom Boom Cabana, to my CM Punk in Ring of Honor Wrestling, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, we are celebrating Ring of Honor Wrestling this week.
Hey.
How are you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How you doing this week?
Man, we are doing great. I can't wait to talk about this. And although we're throwing just a slight curve as we talk about all things basketball, we're excited about this show because we're going to talk about giving coaches flowers. We're going to talk about the snubs on the NBA 75. And I can't wait for my tag team partner to start to rip me on some of these snubs. Yeah, he's going to get after me, and I'm ready for it. And we'll talk all things basketball. But, Coach, what's on your mind before I go on my random rants?
A little bit about Lakers seem to be playing a little better now. I'm happy about that. Letting see.
Got to play like the underdog. Got to play like the underdog.
You know, they were 13-13 early last week when I last checked. It's about that time to start putting it in gear. We'll see that they're starting to get contribution from a couple other guys. Also, and LeBron's had a couple 30-point games in the last week or so. So happy to see that. As far as the Phoenix Suns, Sticks from University of Maryland got some playing time and opportunity a little bit, so he's in the right place. He's with a great point guard who can make you look better. So, and of course, our Washington Wizards, still relevant.
They're still relevant, but a little bit of reality is tapping them on the shoulder, man.
Yeah. Hey, what you doing?
Y'all, you're doing winning games. Well, Coach, a couple of things happened this past week that gave me pause, and I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about this. The book came out, and I've had a lot of time to reflect with former players and former colleagues, and so I'm already kind of in that space. And then I saw that Georgetown, the home floor is now called the John Thompson Jr. Court. The school announced the naming of the court at the Capital One Arena in honor of the legendary leader and former coach. Coach Thompson passed away last year, known for the big towel on the shoulder, won a national championship, went to 3 Final Fours, first Black coach to win a national title, did all the work with on and off court issues, a well-deserved honor.
Yes.
Any thoughts about Georgetown doing that for Coach Thompson?
I think it's a great idea. I think John Thompson doesn't get enough credit for what he's done for college basketball, what he's done for minority coaches in general, being able to to be successful at a high level for such a long time, and taking a little school like Georgetown and building something that was definitely be in the hearts of all minority coaches for forever. If you're coaching sports and you don't know who John Thompson is, you definitely should, especially basketball. You definitely shouldn't be coaching. You should know your history. You should know he went to school in D.C. You should know all he's been through in there. You should know that the battles he fought for us. A lot of opposition from local schools and local universities, local high school coaches, because of his success. So he was that guy who we didn't see half the stuff. I'd say 90% of the stuff that he probably went through and experienced, but because of him, it's able to be a you and I. So I'm definitely happy about that.
Which takes me to a second story that I knew of, but kind of got back on my desk. The Board of Education of Frederick County, Maryland Public Schools is seeking public feedback regarding a proposal to rename the Governor Thomas Johnson High School basketball court after Tom Dickman, who coached at Thomas Johnson for just a lot of years. And I worked with him at Hood College, and there's no finer human than Tom Dickman. The proposal was submitted by former TJ basketball players and seeks to name the basketball court the Tom Dickman Court. He was an influential member of the community as a coach, and he was at TJ for 29 years. And whatever you guys have to do to get that done, let's get that done, because I had a chance to spend some time with TD, dropped him off his copy of the book, and just got to spend time with my friend. We coached together for 8 years. I sat next to the man for 8 years, grabbed suit jackets and listened to all kinds of stuff. So this honor is well overdue. And quite frankly, I think Hood College should do the same. I know you have had some battles on the court with Coach Dickman. Any thoughts on TD, sir?
We have played against each other. We faced off in the playoffs, and they came down to us, and we didn't have a great game. He had a good player at the time. I had both our point guards were both, Division I signees, and we struggled a little bit in the post. I think some guys, maybe the game was too big for them, but Coach Dickman was always organized. Coach Dickman, watching and scouting them, they've always been a very, very, very detail-oriented program. And he's a coach that you definitely, if you watch one of his games and don't learn something, then you really don't care about basketball. So for the good of Maryland High School basketball, for their county, for the college, what he done, Hood's first coach, right?
Yes.
So I think they should name the court after him. I admire everything he's done and appreciate the minimal conversations we had, but they've always been good and about basketball, and you learn so much if you just listen to him.
And on a very silly personal note, you will never find someone that can write more information on an index card than Tom Dickman. I still don't know how he did it, but my goodness. I mean, he can write. Love TD. Which takes me to my final point of this portion of the segment. I am an alum of Paint Branch High School. I coached there, and this is not a gripe or anything. It's just with all of this going on, and Coach Thompson being a mentor to me, and Coach Dickman being a mentor to me, and the book coming out, and Mike, you've had a chance to read my epilogue about my coach. So I'm going to try to keep this together. Paint Branch High School, to my knowledge, has not kind of done the same type of thing, whether it's a plaque outside or there's just a huge generation of kids that don't know the impact that Hank Galata had. So although I did write about it in a book, I'd like to just briefly say my boss, my mentor, my friend Hank Galata went 390 and 198 at Paint Branch High School, won a Maryland State title in 1977. Coach Tracy Jackson, he was and is Paint Branch basketball. And sadly, there's not a lot of public displays about his career. And I know I'm close to it. I know I am. That's why I'm going to make this brief. I'm just thinking about it as a slight, and I'm reaching out and I'm calling on our former players to do something similar to what was done for Coach Dickman at TJ, and just start the conversation about finding a way to honor Hank formally in some appropriate fashion. So again, I'm just a guy who loved his coach, and really wanted him to get his flowers before he passed. And that's pretty much about it for that. I don't even know if you ever went against Paint Branch over the years, Coach, but
No.
thank you for letting me just, say, hey, I love my boss, and I would just love for more people to just kind of know the impact he had, not only on me, but countless others.
Yeah, I'm glad that you share that. It's always somebody who makes that impact on us. Unbelievable how they're saying how one person can change the world. You know what I mean? That's part of it, because everyone you've been in contact with since you being in contact with him takes a little bit of him with them. And I don't think people really realize that. I say the same thing about Chuck Markowitz, and, however other people feel and their relationship with him, I don't care. I just know that without him, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't have been able to do anything I've done now. The man's fought for me, taught me, as same as your coach has, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. So now, with that being said, what will UConn do? Reigning women's basketball Naismith Player of the Year, Paige Buckets, might be sidelined longer than originally thought. Got a knee injury, Coach, if I'm not mistaken. She has a tibial plateau fracture in her left knee, and none of that sounds good. I know the Fudd kid is out too, and I also know that UConn lost to Georgia Tech women's basketball. Is this a lost season for UConn? What are you thinking, Coach?
It's going to be rough. They lost earlier this year, if you recall. They had some issues. They struggled a little bit, but I think he's going to be. The season's not going to go the way he planned it, which a struggle for UConn is what, 3-4 losses. Like, let's look at it that way. It's like 3 or 4 losses. So, but he'll be okay, guaranteed.
Okay. Yeah, they lost the kid from Frederick, who I believe transferred to Arkansas. I think she did. But takes us to the last part of this segment. Zion update. We have had some conversations in the past about Zion, so I will formally give you this information. New Orleans Pelican forward Zion Williams has suffered a setback in his rehab process and will be dialed back even more. Williamson, who has not played a game this season because of off-season surgery he had for a fracture in his right foot, will be pushed back in his rehab as the team continues to wait for the bone to properly heal. Zion, according to recent metrics, has only played about 85 games, so he has missed more than he's played in his NBA career. Coach, any thoughts about Zion?
Did you see that meme that was out this week?
No, I did not, sir.
Oh,
and
my
I'm tired
gosh.
of you and memes.
I'm going to tell you. This one was cruel, but it was funny. They had him next to, you remember the Nutty Professor? You remember Sherman?
No, they did.
And a picture of Sherman in his sweatsuit and Zion walking off the court in his sweatsuit.
The internet is undefeated and untied, and I don't even want to fight. I don't.
It doesn't lose. I feel bad. I think they never let him heal properly to begin with. Let's be honest. Let's be straightforward. And I think they rushed him out. Money. I'm sure he was, under the pressure himself to prove himself and never let that thing heal properly. And they're going to have to shut him down and hopefully, but he's going to have to lose weight for it to not happen again. That's for sure. But
man, I'm just chalking up the season. Get better. He's under contract. We don't have to do anything other than let him heal. It's a lost season. It's not like we're fighting for the 8th spot. Just get better and figure out some stuff. But hey, we wish you well, wish you good health, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Looking for something to get your favorite student athlete this holiday season? Order them a copy of Dr. Keith Adams' new book, Find the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. The book serves as both a memoir of Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student-athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes numerous personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues, including former George Mason standout, Fowler and Campbell. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast, and in my favorite segment of the week on all of our shows, yes, we are still on the NBA 75, but I've been waiting for this episode the entire time. So let's kick the reset in case you're a first-time listener, and welcome. As a part of the 75th anniversary celebration, the NBA released a list featuring the 75 greatest players in NBA history. A similar list was compiled ahead of the 1996-1997 season to honor the 50 greatest players of all time. And of those original lists, all 50 managed to keep their spots this time around. When we started this, Mike and I said, okay, let's keep everybody on there. But as we went through the stats and the numbers, we said, no, man, everybody is up for grabs. So we have our no debate list, and we're going to run off the list that we said, hey, we've got no problems. And I finally think I've deleted Kevin Durant twice. So it's only going to be on there once. So in no particular order, we have Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nate Archibald, Paul Arizin, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Dave Bing, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Billy Cunningham, Tim Duncan, Julius Erving, Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, Michael Jordan, Sam Jones, Magic Johnson, Kevin Garnett, George Gervin, Elvin Hayes, Jason Kidd, Kawhi Leonard, no jokes about the Clippers, Karl Malone, I'm going to let that go, Moses Malone, George Mikan, Dirk Nowitzki, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Bob Pettit, Scottie Pippen, author extraordinaire, couldn't let that one go, Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson, Dennis Rodman, Bill Russell, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Jerry West, and Dominique Wilkins. That's 44 players we have no debate about. So, stop that. No, come on. We got no debate. It's a no debate list. So on the debate list, we have 32 players on the debate list. We're not debating them today. We're saying we're pausing. We're not saying anybody's a bad player or a bum or nothing like that. But during our initial run, something gave us pause, and we said we would come back to him. Starting off with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm starting to like Giannis, buddy. Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis, who is not doing himself any favors. James Harden, Harden's got a point. Dame Lillard, Russell Westbrook, Ray Allen, Bob Cousy, Dave Cowens, Dave DeBusschere, Clyde Drexler, Hal Greer, the man who starts all the arguments, John Havlicek. It's probably who we should start off with next week.
No shit.
That's another story. Jerry Lucas, Pete Maravich, Bob McAdoo, Kevin McHale, Reggie Miller, Earl Monroe, Steve Nash, Robert Parrish. How did Robert Parrish get his look? Sorry. Gary Payton, Paul Pierce, David Robinson, Dolph Schayes, Bill Sharman, Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, Bill Walton, Lenny Wilkins, and James Worthy, because I have Russell Westbrook twice. No, I have Russell Westbrook twice. So it went from Kevin Durant twice to Russell Westbrook twice. And notice I didn't do any nicknames because that's how we get in trouble. So we're going to put that on pause this week because I have created a list based off media reports on 19 players who many experts said were snubbed and should be under consideration. This is in no particular order. My partner has my list, and where I put a star at is people I think, man, we should probably talk about them based on their numbers. So number one, Dwight Howard. Coach, what are you thinking about Dwight Howard?
Next.
Dwight Howard's an 8-time All-NBA player. I think we got to take a peek a little more deeply.
So was
at
Bill
Dwight
Walton.
Howard. He's on the debate list.
Right.
I think Dwight Howard is worthy of a debate.
So he got snubbed off the debate list or snubbed off the list?
The snub list means let's put them with the debate list, not put them on the no debate list. And I would like us to debate Dwight Howard next week when we talk about everybody else.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Now we're going to run through some people that maybe you'll convince me on, maybe you won't. Paul Gasol, what do you think? Should we talk about Paul Gasol?
No.
Okay. No argument there. Vince Carter. Should
No.
we talk about
Nope.
Dikembe Mutombo?
Nope. We talking top 75. No.
Okay. I'm not going to fight about Mutombo, but I will pause on this next one.
I agree
Tony
with
Parker.
you. Yes, we can put him on the debate list.
Let's talk about Tony Parker next week.
Yes.
Next one. I want to pause. Tracy McGrady. His numbers deserve a conversation, in my opinion.
Yes.
That a conversation.
Yes.
Now, he's probably not going to be on the list, but after looking at it, I'm like, man, at least let's talk about him.
Right.
At least let's talk about him. And I feel the same way about Grant Hill. If Bill Walton's on this list, I want to talk about Grant Hill.
Bill Walton won championships.
Bill Walton won one championship on his own and one championship sitting like I am.
How many did Grant Hill win on his own?
Ah, man. I want to talk about Grant.
Or with somebody.
Look, it's Grant Hill and his numbers.
If this was top 75 college players, then yes, but it's not.
Have you seen Grant's numbers and what he did in his accolades? All right, I won't fight you on Grant. Yao Ming.
No.
Did you see Yao's numbers?
Man, come on, man.
Did you see his impact?
Did you see who was on Yao Ming's team?
Okay.
Come on, man. Stop.
All right. Okay. No Yao Ming. All right. Anthony Penny Hardaway.
That's a definite conversation.
All right. So wait a second. You'll talk about Penny,
Yep.
but you won't talk about Grant or Yao Ming.
Yeah. I mean, Penny, man. Penny was a destroyer.
All right.
Grant Hill was okay. Great college player. Yao Ming, I mean, he was 7 foot 100. So, but when it comes to being a guard, there's a little more that goes with that. And Yao Ming wasn't dominant. He wasn't a Shaq. He wasn't dominant. He wasn't Tim Duncan. He wasn't like who would we take off the list to put him on to get to 75? That's what I look at and I think about. At his position, there's no way.
We're fussing about Wes Unseld, and you want me to bring up Yao? Okay, I got
right. You know what I mean? Like, how do we're looking at like the top 10 to 12 guys at every, 12, 13 guys at every position. Like, Yao Ming was no top 15 center.
All right. Alex English. Underrated.
I'd like to do more research on Alex.
Right.
I got to do more. I didn't do a lot of Alex English research, and definitely not number 11. No, skip.
All right, fans. Number 11 is Klay Thompson, and my tag team partner doesn't think Klay Thompson is worthy of a conversation.
Top 15 two guards in the NBA history. That's what we're looking at. He's not.
Okay.
He was fortunate to play with his homeboy, who I don't even think a point guard, but everybody say a point guard, just like they said that dude in Philly is a damn point guard. Steph Curry ain't a damn point guard. Neither is the boy in Philadelphia.
Ben Simmons, sir.
Yes, and neither one of them a point guard.
All right, Joe Dumars.
That's a conversation.
All right. Thank you, because I was about to hit the Earl Monroe with that.
Now, when it comes to defense and integrity, and like Joe was that guy, he was a big combo guard who could kind of play both. And I don't want him to get hurt in the situation because he could play both positions.
All right, Derrick Rose.
No.
Derrick Rose. Okay. Manu Ginobili.
Yes, we need to have that conversation.
All right. Nikola Jokic. Joker. Killing. His progression is ridiculous. Over the 7 years he's been in the league, he gets better and better, and he's got an MVP.
So does Steve Nash.
Look, Steve Nash got. I'm going to dig in on. I think we got to talk about Joker.
No,
you got to talk about Joker, man.
It's so political. This thing, when we talk about growing the game to foreign countries and stuff, they throw these people in. They push these guys to try to make more money in foreign countries to make basketball a global sport. Steve Nash should not have been MVP over Shaq, and Nikolai should not have been MVP either, or Nikolic, whatever his name is. I ain't win something. I ain't trying to hear that regular season stuff. I keep telling you, I ain't doing it. So,
all right, okay, okay.
So what position does he play?
Plays 5. The best passing big man in the league. I just threw out random stats.
That was Gasol.
I said in the league right now.
Okay. I mean, Gasol was one of the best pass big men, right?
Jokic is probably going to be on the top 100 list in a few years. Man. I think he will be.
We'll take everybody off this list except for.
We're not finished yet. We're not finished.
Okay. Tony Parker and Penny Hardaway, Manny Ginobili. Them 3
We're not done yet. Fans, you're about to find out why Coach Francis is being 6 years old now. Paul George, baby. What do you think about Paul George? Playoff P.
Pandemic P.
Can we talk about Paul?
Nope.
Okay. Kyrie Irving.
Nope.
NBA champion.
Nope. NBA team destroyer.
Draymond Green. He has carved his own niche, as you said with Rodney.
We need to have a talk about him. Yes.
All right. And the last name on my list. The last name on the list, Chris Bosh. 3-time NBA champion. 3 times he took the title.
Then put Robert Horry on the list then.
Okay, no Chris Bosh. Okay, I'm not doing that.
Got 7.
Okay. Fans, we're going to pick this up next week. But once you start talking about Robert Horry, we're going to end the segment. And we will pick up the NBA 75 with the debate list. With the debate list next week. And we'll be right back after this brief commercial message. Applesauce, alfalfa, applesauce. Bomb.
3 Crown Naturals, a preferred partner of the CKA Save Project, is having a raffle with 50% of the proceeds supporting the CKA Save Project. The winner of the raffle receives a Royal Package bundle, a soap sampler, a travel-size foot oil and scrub, and a 3-day, 2-night vacation voucher. To enter, visit www.3crownnaturals.com, spelled using the number 3 and naturals with an S on the end. Simply click Holiday Raffle at the top of the page. Hurry and enter. This drawing will take place on December 19th, 2021.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast, and we have regained control after the Bob Horry mention, but I digress. We're looking at the NBA top 5 right now, and this is the OCP top 5. We've got Golden State, number 1A, and Phoenix, number 1B. Flip them, do whatever you want, but those 2 teams are playing on a different level. Yep. We've got the best team, I think, in the East right now, Brooklyn at number 3. Chicago keeps playing well, man. Chicago's going to be hanging around. Therefore, and Utah's 5, and the Bucks are on the outside looking in. I watched Utah play recently against the Washington Wizards because my colleague tells me to watch the Wizards, and I watched Utah come into their house, decimate them, destroy them, and leave. So, who's on the franchise five? I might not know who's on it, but I know who's not on it, and that's that local team from around the corner. What are you thinking about, sir?
I agree with you for most of this, but again, that hey,
You
you
stop
know,
with the hating Utah. They're
I
winning
don't hate
games.
Utah. It's just I hate regular season champions. That's what I hate. I'm sorry. I'm not in this to be a regular season champ. They don't call it the regular season bowl. They don't call it the regular season championship. They don't call it. It's the NBA finals. It's the Super Bowl. It's like it's the last game of the season, the last series. If you're not one of the last two teams playing, then don't talk to me about being successful and winning and all. Oh, the historic Utah Jazz. They ain't been storied since Michael Jordan sent them home at the flu game.
It's a push off. Okay, so
It's Jordan.
which order do you have your franchise five, sir?
I pretty much got the same thing except for I would put Milwaukee over Utah for the simple
Okay.
fact Milwaukee is tougher. Again, they're proven in the playoffs. Again, that's the only difference. They're proven in the playoffs.
I can live with that, sir. So OCP men's college basketball top five.
Mm,
Nobody on the outside looking in, and I don't even know
no,
if you're ready for that.
no.
I've got Baylor number one. I've got Purdue number two, Duke number three, UCLA number four, and Villanova
Hmm.
at number five.
Definitely.
Any thoughts on men's college basketball right now?
I like where
Still feeling them out.
Yeah, still filling them out, but I like where Villanova's going. Usually after Christmas, when they get in the conference play, is when I really, really start to pay attention to all the games. Right now, it's just the high profiles, or if nothing else is on. But come January, that's when the rubber hits the road.
Well, I will say that there was a bit of an upset this past week, sir. The
Mm,
Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat Kentucky.
hmm
Maybe somebody's auditioning for a new job. Maybe beating top 10 teams. I
As
don't
we
know.
said before, he'd be the only person. I said he'd be the only one I'd go after. I would. I'd throw the bag at him. You know, throw the bag and
Uh,
see what happens.
and the OCP women's college basketball top five. Big game. South Carolina's number one, and South Carolina's playing some really good teams non-conference. I
Hmm.
like Arizona's number two,
Hmm.
NC State number three, Baylor number four. And I've always kind of liked the Louisville coach. He's got a little snarky to him. He's got a little wrestling heel to him. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but his teams win ball games at the end of it. So I've got Louisville as number five. Any
Hmm.
thoughts, sir?
I like it. I like all of it. I might put NC State up over Arizona, but
Yeah.
from seeing them play, so I'd say 2 and 3 are probably interchangeable. Don Staley, hats off to Don Staley for just building one hell of a program, and South Carolina for believing in her and allowing her to do what she does. She's a good recruiter. She knows basketball and a fierce competitor. Like if there's two women I want on my team and I don't want to lose, Dawn Staley is definitely on my team. She playing with me, and so is Brenda Fries. Those two are playing with me because they're ultimate competitors.
Now I want to throw something out at you. Tell me your thoughts on it. And it came up, and I haven't talked to you about this, but Frank Martin's not doing very well at South Carolina,
Hmm.
and the Maryland men's job is open.
No, hell no.
Dawn Staley coaching the men's team at South Carolina, Brenda Fries coaching the men's team at Maryland. What are your thoughts?
Brenda could do it. Dawn could do it. I think
Everybody
both of
could
them
do
could
it.
do it. Yeah, I think they both could do it. It's
I
a great.
mean, I,
That's a
I,
great conversation. I think they both can do it. I thought you meant Frank going to Maryland. I was ready to lose my mind.
no, 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 no.
Boy.
If I'm South Carolina's AD, I would make I would go across the hall, down the hall, however they do it, and have that conversation. If I'm Damon Evans at Maryland, I'm having the conversation because she's good.
Yeah,
It's
but
different.
it's tough.
It's tough. Of course, all of this is tough, but I'm having the conversation. I'm not having the conversation publicly,
No.
but I would say, Brenda, if I did ask, how would you do this? I would
Yeah.
ask. I would, Dawn, hey, if you had this opportunity, it's not like Dawn couldn't bring in Philly kids. It's not like she couldn't recruit nationally. It's not like she couldn't walk up to a dude, well, I can't grab the jersey anymore,
Exactly.
but
That's what makes it
not,
tough.
it might. You can still. I did grab can't grab jerseys
Exactly.
no more. Got to
Exactly.
whisper to them, "Hey, how you feel?" Okay. Um, so some games to watch this week. There's some different games on Saturday that I put out to you, and I'm sure you looked at a couple of them and said, "What were you thinking?" So I got to tell you what I'm thinking. The ones you're not caring about that you're thinking I'm not crazy, but NBA. There's two games this coming week. This coming Saturday, the Cavs are playing the Bucks, and as you did say, the Bucks are playing better, and yeah, they're going to be in that mix in the postseason. The Wiz are traveling to Utah next Saturday to play the Jazz at their place. I'm actually looking for them to play better and get that win because if you're trying to be 4, 5, and 6 and not 7, 8, 9, and 10, these
Hmm.
are the kind of games you have to win.
Hmm.
And now that you've won a little bit and we're in the second quarter of the season, so to speak, teams are now preparing for you differently
Yes.
because you did have some success. So how are you going to make that adjustment? Because the Wizards have been 4-6 their last 10. So don't give me that typical Wizards thing. You want to be elite? Let's start adjusting and let's get
Hmm.
better.
We gotta
Any
be
thoughts
six
on
and
the
four.
NBA games?
Got to be 6 and 4 on the other side. Got to. I agree with you. Bucks and Cavs is going to be, as the Bucks start to, ascend. We're going to see if they continue to carry it on, no injuries, and they don't get complacent. And as far as the Wizards, I agree with you. They have to win games like this in order to be one of the top four teams. You have to go on the road and beat good teams.
Yeah. Two national college games that have got my interest. Butler against Purdue. Purdue's one of the top teams in the nation, and I actually just kind of want to see Purdue play. I just kind of want to sit back and just watch with a coaching lens to kind of see what's going on because I haven't seen them from start to finish. And
Hmm.
Butler's always going to be an older team, upperclassmen, led. So I'm kind of interested in that. And UCLA is playing UNC. Haven't seen Hubert Davis coach. Haven't seen him yet.
Mm-mm.
So UCLA is good. I know they're a good team. Let me see where UNC stands. So hopefully I have the opportunity to just kind of sit and watch that game. And then two local games. Morgan State's traveling to Mount St. Mary's. Um, I always like when local teams play each other. I like that. And Dan Engelstad is the head coach at Mount St. Mary's, and I've known Dan his entire career. He played at Whitman High School. We had some great battles as a high school when he was a high school player, and he went to St. Mary's. And when I was at Hood, we had some great battles as a college player, and he's worked his way up. Mount made it to the NCAA tournament. And I know Morgan State's had a coaching change over the last couple of years.
Hmm.
So I kind of got my eye out, to think local. And the same thing, the women, Mounts women is coached by Antoine White, who also is local. Again, went to Whitman, and I've watched his career. And I tell you one school that I've always liked, Coach. I
Who's
think
that?
we've had conversations over the years, not recently, but I have always thought if UMES invested in the right person,
Man,
they have a sleeping giant
I
there.
would love to be the head coach at
I would.
UMES.
You want me to pause? I have said it over the years to many folks. That's a job I would be interested in
Hmm.
terms of working with them. I just have always thought in all of their sports that they booked it wrong. And that's a school, and I don't say this often, Coach, that needs to bring football back.
Hmm.
That's a school that needs to bring football back. UMES has a storied football history in the
Yes.
60s and 70s. And again, if it's booked, well done. I think they can win because the one thing I like about UMES is that every student that I've ever had go to Princess Anne has come
Hmm.
back with a degree.
Hmm.
They have come back with a degree. So I would love the opportunity. If you're interested, love to have coffee. I would drive across the bridge and just sit and chit chat with you. So I am curious about that. and give you the final thoughts, sir. But at least you know why, because I'm sure you looked at the show rundown today and said, "What in the world?"
No, I understand it. I just don't think the Princess Anne, the city of Princess Anne, and that part would like to have football and what comes along with it in that town. Let's be honest. Like, that's just, it is Princess Anne. So, I don't see football ever coming back for that simple reason.
All right, and you're not lacking for players, by the way. You can
not at all. Not in Maryland. I mean,
you don't have to leave.
No, you see Bowie's success, right?
Yes, indeed.
You know
Class
what I mean?
of 95.
They got it right. Bowie got it right. Bowie, they're doing a great job. So UMES could do that, and I probably would run at him as the head coach if I opened it back up to football.
And the MEAC could use another member, baby. The MEAC could use another member.
Boy, everybody jumping ship. Why
not? Bowie State to the MEAC. Let's get that going.
Let's go. Hashtag.
All right. On behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I am Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, now on Amazon Music. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.cksaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.